What is good, family? This is your girl, Courtney Michelle, and you are now tuned in to the I Am Courtney Michelle show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm super excited about tonight. I have an amazing special guest. I was thinking about doing our one-on-one on the basketball court, but I didn't want to embarrass him with my crossover. It is quite vicious, I might say. So we decided to take this one-on-one to the YouTube space. This is this man's space. He is completely taken it over, and I want to dig in a little bit deeper. So I am going to go ahead and add him on. There's really no introduction that I can give him. He is the myth, the man, the legend, the Kwame Brown. Kwame.
How you doing? I'm just a bust. That's all.
Ah, a legendary bust, a first time for a lot. So, we're going to dig deep to see if that's really the case, if you are or not. How are
Okay.
you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. First, I want to thank you for joining me for this conversation. I want to have fun, talk about some stuff, but it's pre-birthday, so we're gonna have some fun. How about that?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So, well, first, um, you were introduced to the world back in 2001.
Mhm.
You were the first round draft pick back then, and I believe you spent like 12 years in the NBA. So that within itself, to me, I think is remarkable. It is absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
Now we know you right now as being on YouTube, but however, there is a space from when you retired back in 2013. So tell me a little bit before we get in this. What in the world were you doing
Mhm.
from when you retired to becoming this iconic man on YouTube?
I was actually doing regular things. I was taking my daughters to school, stopping by Chick-fil-A every day on the way to school, carpooling, picking up friends, and singing along on Facebook with my kids. So it was a pretty normal life, just doing things that I couldn't do with the time that I missed playing basketball.
Yeah. What songs were you singing? Going to Chick-fil-A.
That's how I was able to understand what's going on and say what I say on YouTube. Because unfortunately, our radio stations play. You would think it's radio friendly, but you would hear a lot of the songs. They blank out a little bit of the words, but I was shocked and appalled by playing some of the songs that I play on the radio going to school.
Yeah. Well, it definitely hasn't gotten any better. So I think a lot of people don't really realize that you, before YouTube, you were saying a lot of stuff on Facebook.
Hmm.
So you kind of started on Facebook and then you got on YouTube. So you've been doing this social media stuff for a few years. Am I correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. I didn't know much about YouTube. I'm a little slow when it comes to the social media space. Facebook was kind of the first thing I started doing. My daughter would always put stuff on Facebook. We didn't follow each other, but I kind of got Facebook to kind of monitor what she was doing. And
Hmm.
it kind of, formed into me doing my own little thing.
Yeah. So you were doing stuff on Facebook and then you decided to travel on here over to the YouTube space.
Hmm.
And from my recognition, there was a particular video that I kind of want to talk about that blew you up.
Uh-oh.
And let's bring you back to the time. The date was May the 15th, 2021.
Right.
And you decided to go to YouTube and make a video responding to the, I believe it was called Setting the Record Straight.
Tell me you
And
don't
this,
have a clip of it ready to go playing in front of everybody, embarrassing me like this
well, okay, well, you made it. This was your thing. So you made this video, and this was almost a year ago.
here.
So take me back to that time. What in the world was on your mind, and what And why do you think actually that it just took off? Because I mean, it was over half a
Mm.
million views on that video.
Well, it was a man trying to speak to other men, but I was speaking to other men on the internet. I had
Mm-hmm.
my son with me, so it's just like, man, at what point do you let me stand alone as a man instead of dragging a game along with what I'm saying or what I'm doing? I've accomplished so much in life, and I wasn't trying to brag, and I wasn't trying to stand in front of anybody and say, "Look at me, I'm this." I was okay with letting them control my image and saying whatever they're going to say about me, but it got to a point where I started to understand, like, man, it's more about devaluing what I represent than it was me. The extra tapping of the leg, the extra going out of their way to do what they were doing. And then as I look back throughout the years, they would bring my name up in this comedic style situation with Stephen A. Smith going to colleges and high schools and things of that nature. And I said, oh, this is bigger than Kwame Brown. They're trying to sway a narrative on an entire generation of young boys.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a thing called Black Boy Magic. And just imagine me with all the accolades that I have. I was Mr. Georgia. I was the McDonald's All American. I was the Player of the Year two times or three times in a row. Um, all of these accolades before I even, graduated high school,
Mm-hmm.
and got myself signed, sealed, and delivered to the University of Florida. I can't think of another race or another sex person that they would crucify in the media like they did me.
Yeah,
You can't find one positive article about a Kwame Brown, not one,
that's interesting. Why do you think you?
because I'm a soft target. They take kids from the inner city that don't have representation, that don't have a father. Um, we lack resource. We lack a lot of things that other kids with two parents, that stability that a father, his reputation, and that family would bring to a community. Most black males don't have that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they just have their mother. That's doing their best. Most of the kids in my situation were on welfare, so we're easy targets. They talk about us like no other. They don't talk about our women like that. They especially attack the black male. Um, I think there's so much money being made by making the black male look a certain way in movies and everything that you look at today in 2022. Black males, you can rarely see a sex scene between a heterosexual black male and a black woman. You,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the new Tommy series, you see Tommy having heterosexual sex, and you see a different encounter when it comes to a black male. You do not see a black male striking a woman in a movie, but Tommy can strike him. He can kill him. He does all these things. He has a full range of what a man is. But what they show you in a black man is this one type. And it's what they're doing in the media all throughout society. They're controlling the image of the black male.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question because I totally agree with you. I definitely think that there is, quite frankly, an agenda. Back in the day, the agenda was showing black men either on drugs um, or a thug and gangster and all that. But
Mhm.
now that I'm seeing it, I think it's more effeminizing the black man, where the men are wearing dresses. I know seeing this recent picture of what's his name, Lakeith Stanfield, with
Mhm.
him in the leggings and the heel, and it's like, okay, like we get it.
I thought
Why
they were trolling me or something, so I didn't say nothing about it.
you did? Well, I saw it and I was like, okay, so what is this? Because he that's a whole nother story. But I do see the infeminization of the black man. And so it just seems like for a very long time, and even hell, we can talk about back in the day when oh Lord, it was a movie where, the black man was seen as savages and just wanting the white woman. So why do you think media has completely portrayed black men in a way that is not you guys? Is either you're a savage or you're a thug or now you want to be in dresses. There's usually not a lot of images of a strong black man, a family man. Why do
Mhm.
you think that is?
I think our oppressor has learned to tap into our emotions. They know that we are a prideful people. They know all you have to do is dangle a carrot in front of one or both of us, and we'll peacock. Um,
Mm.
um, Black males, when we drive the market. Everybody wants to do and emulate a black man. You have women out there saying, uh, "I don't know what I can say on your side."
You be yourself, okay? Don't you worry about that because I might have slip up a word too. So you all right.
You have women that'll say, "Suck my D," you know what I mean, and they don't
Hmm.
even have one of those, but that's something that a black man would say. Um, the masculine or the worst form of a black man, they still emulate that. They don't emulate the good forms of a black man. So it's just like it's a lot of money to be made in that. If you look at the prison to pipeline system, when you take out a father and you take out that structure, they hit us going and coming. Even the successful black men, if you look, they either end up divorced, they end up with R word allegation.
Hmm.
They hit you going and coming. The black male image looks trash. It really. If we're not a rapper, if we are in the home and we're an athlete, we must be quiet and subservient to our wife. Don't create a scene. It just seems like I don't know. It just seems like it's so much money to be made off of keeping a strong, independent thinking black man in its place or in his place because we drive the market.
Yeah, I think it's intentionally done. And for me, I've always said, and I've always said it on this black platform, that the strongest individual for me has been the black man. And it would behoove of the media not to show that, because if we know and we knew that how powerful we were, we would take this shit over.
Hmm.
But they have to ingrain in us, no, you are this and you are this, but we're not. Um, Something that I appreciate you about, because you stand very firm on being a man and a man first. You stand very firm as far as being a leader, and you've talked about relationships and said, "No, I'm a man. I lead my home." So I definitely appreciate you for that, and I think we need a lot of that, um, and that's why your platform is important. I think we've came to a point where we can finally try to change the narrative of who we are,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
I just think so many men want to blame women. Yes,
Hmm.
there's some things that women may need to correct themselves on, and I think other women can help do that. And in an intimate setting where man and woman are together, you can try to correct them that way. But most times it take other women to correct each other. So I just think men don't want to take responsibility for things. As a kid, I always understood that there was a difference in being a young boy than being a woman or being a young girl. Uh,
Right.
that meant that the responsibility of the situation fell on me. I couldn't look at a female and say what she was doing, and then a male or even my mother accept the same behavior. If a female hit me, I couldn't turn and hit her back and say, "Hey, but she hit me first."
Hmm.
Everybody would give me that correction from being a boy. Say, they would tell me it's different. You can't hit a female. You're a boy. You can't do that. So with being a young man, there's a different level of responsibility, and a lot of men they don't want to stand up to the plate and accept that responsibility.
Mm. Do you think they don't want to, or maybe they don't know how because they haven't seen it in the home?
Maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. And now the way we're raising kids, it's like the lines are being blurred a little bit. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I don't think young men feel confident and strong enough to be that young men. I think a lot of times parents are Even my baby mama said it to me. She said, "Man, my your daughter reminds me so much of you. I try not to penalize her for that." And I'm just sitting here like, what? You know what I mean? It's so many women that are in situations that if they're honest about, sometimes that if they're emotional about a man and
Hmm.
that child reminds them of that man, sometimes they can take it out on the kid.
Right.
It's important to just be honest and have that dialogue and just men just even if you don't know how to be a man. I think there's times in a life that you've been around older men in situations where they give you guidance. It's just some of us young boys are not emotionally equipped to deal with the truth. Like the
Hmm.
truth now, we can't have young men that are shying away from the truth. We have men now that are trying to act like females. They're running from the truth, and we as men, we can't do that. You're supposed to be able to say to me, "Hey, you slipping, you're gaining weight," and I shouldn't respond like a woman would do when you say a woman is gaining weight. I should say, "Oh yeah, well I can fix that. I'm gonna go to the gym and do some push-ups," and I should just give a code of conduct or some structure or what I'm going to do to fix it, and that's it.
Right. Not cry about it and be like, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, oh no, you called me fat. See this? I got I got to work on this. Like no, we okay. I'm fat. Okay, we'll check back in 3 weeks. I'll be all right.
Right. I
Yeah.
get you. So let me, I want to go back and I don't want to um, talk too much about the idea of you being a bust, but I do have a question on that. And first, I'm going to bring up this comment that I saw. And it reads, for Kwame to be a bust, he sure gets a lot of attention. To be, I love to be labeled a bust, LOL.
Mhm.
So the idea of the bust life, it was used to, I think, degrade you and demean you. And I don't believe at all that it gave you your justice as far as what you did and what you contribute to the NBA.
Mhm.
However, your YouTube, you name it yourself, Kwame Brown, the bus life, and you've taken that term bus and turned it around. It's like the idea of turning lemons into lemonade.
Mhm.
Was that your purpose? Was that important to you? Why did you decide to name now who you are, the bus life? Why?
Because I don't believe in swimming upstream, and I believe
Hmm.
in energy. You know what I'm saying? Energy, just like in martial arts and whatever else. If you're bigger than me, if you're stronger than me, and you're exerting a lot of energy, I can use your energy and your momentum against you. And so that's why I say terms like quicksand. And that's why I did the things that I'm doing. Like I took the word bus life and try to turn it into a positive. That's for kids to see that it don't matter what they label you, you can use it and use that energy and turn it into something positive. I took the worst day of the week. People hate Wednesday. That's like that
Hmm.
middle of the road day that people, are looking forward to the weekend. I took that and made it a week weasel Wednesday where people were starting to look forward to Wednesday and having that Wednesday roast. So I'm just trying to show kids like and even young adults like life is gonna be cruel to you. Some of us, they tell you as a kid, don't bully, don't do these things, but as an adult, people don't care really. People don't care about your mental health and your well being, so they're gonna say whatever. So you got to be able to persevere. I look at life like a boxer. You can
Hmm.
work on hitting the bag. You can work on bobbing and weaving, but until you can take a punch, you're not a very good boxer. Um, the best boxers are able to take a punch and get back up, take a licking and keep on ticking.
There you go.
Yeah, and there's so many parents now. Like I think parents used to raise kids back in the day for that licking, to be able to
Hmm.
take that lick and persevere and strive through it. And then now, I think we've gotten so comfortable. Kids are educated, they're smarter now, but they're not ready to take that lick. As soon as they get pushed down, they don't get back up.
Yeah, I agree. So you mentioned bullying, and you did. Now I'm gonna preference this, okay? Because we're gonna get to a couple other stuff. But I'm a preference.
Hmm.
You did a live with Gilbert Arenas,
Okay.
And he said something that I thought was interesting, talking about bullying. So I'm going to play this very, very small clip and kind of get your opinion on it, okay?
Hmm.
So let's see.
Bullies want easy targets. So you target people that you know won't fight back. That's where the bullies want easy targets. So you target people that you know won't fight back. That's
So that was just a quick clip, but he was talking about bullying. And once I heard that, I thought of you automatically.
Hmm.
Um, do you believe that you were bullied back then?
No, I believe that what they did to me is what they do to all of the people nowadays that they tell you not to like. I've said on my podcast that you guys need to take a second look at whoever the media is swaying the narrative against and telling you not to like. They do it to more than just me. They do it to more than athletes. Anybody who they bring you in a room. Cat Williams is not wrong about a lot of the things he was saying. They study you. They take you out to eat. If you notice, some of the detractors, what they said about me is they took me to restaurants and I went and did my own thing
Mm-hmm.
while at these restaurants. And that's why I said I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. So every time they took me to a certain place and it felt foreign to me, I stayed myself. And I think that's what they don't really like individuals. And I think that's what make them sway the narrative against you. I think the young man, Freddie P, he came out and he talked about P. Diddy and the things that he felt to degrade a man and tell him to go walk and get cheesecake over a bridge. I just don't see how that had anything to do with his talent level. And I think that's a part of the ritual and a part of the test, just to see what are you willing to do for money. And
Mm,
once they see that you're willing to humiliate yourself, you're willing to disrespect yourself, your name, then they know you're willing to do anything. They'll just keep moving the goalposts, pulling that carrot back, and you'll keep chasing it.
yeah. And I see that. So, do you think that that goes again with the um, having the black man being effeminate?
Hmm.
So, if you're not even put on a dress, they will make you do some things to make you seem less than a man than what you are.
Yeah, they want you not to remember anything about your history, about your ancestors. Like that was a no for a strong man growing up in our neighborhood.
Hmm.
So they want you to be all accepting of that now. And not to say, I'm just a crusader against that. If that's what you do, that's what you do. I have a cousin who went through some things as a child, and he lives that lifestyle. So, and I treat him no different. He's no different in my opinion. So, it's nothing about that. It didn't change who you are as a person. But at the end of the day, even him, he doesn't push it on anybody else. It's just something he chose to do.
Yeah. So being in the world and not of the world is something actually that I say.
Mhm.
Being that my faith is like I'm here, but all this crazy stuff that you guys are not doing, or
Mhm.
that you are doing, I'm not, and it's because I stand on my faith.
Mhm.
But one thing about you that you said, and it's just kind of reminded me of that. You said that you are not a celebrity.
Mhm.
Now, make that make sense. Because you are first round draft pick, NBA. I know that you spent some time in the big three.
Mhm.
YouTube is popping over millions and millions of views. When I said I was talking to Kwame Brown, the people was like, "Oh shit,
Mhm.
how are you?" Make it make sense. You said you're not a celebrity. How?
From a criminal justice standpoint and from a societal treatment standpoint, I just want to stand on the side that uh, people who don't understand that celebrities are no different than other people, you
Mm-hmm.
can drive a celebrity crazy like that. Chasing Michael Jackson around, God rest his soul. Can you imagine him trying to be a father? Can you imagine him trying to be a husband? Um, if you love and respect somebody, that word fan, you're a fanatic. If you love and respect somebody, you don't treat them that way. And me, far as being a celebrity in the criminal justice side of things, If you look at it, if Jay-Z is walking up the street with his wife and he doesn't have security because the fact that he's a celebrity, somebody would look at him and try to attack him because he's a
Mhm.
target to them. And we have a justice system that if Jay-Z wins the scenario and that person live, they'll still be able to sue Jay-Z no matter what the scenario is. And so
Right.
I think celebrities need to sue our criminal justice system because it's like they're targets. Um, Celebrities shouldn't have to walk around with a different set of rules and be afraid of everybody attacking them and having lawsuits against them. And
Mhm.
nobody's afraid of a celebrity. Just think about it. Most dudes say, "Man, I wish this dude would say something to me. He's a celebrity. I'll sue him." You
Yeah,
know,
you have
so
an easy target on your head.
right. And it's
Yeah.
not necessarily an easy target. It's just what we accept. We allow people
Mhm.
to say that you're a public figure, so you're supposed to accept this type of treatment. But tell that to my daughter, tell that to my son. Like if I'm out just trying to have a regular everyday encounter, my life, my liberty, my pursuit of happiness, and you're intervening against that, me being a celebrity and me accepting you calling me a celebrity won't
Mhm.
allow me to react to you in a regular everyday man confrontation. If you had
Right.
a celebrity husband, I don't think he can protect you being a celebrity. Your money, your family money is going to be at stake because if somebody come and maybe touch you inappropriately or say something you the wrong way, if you have a celebrity husband, what is he going to do about it? He has to call another man.
Mm. I didn't think about it like that.
Think about it.
So yeah, because
Your
then he
celebrity
touches,
husband,
then that's
yeah.
a check that someone is searching for because of who you are.
If Denzel is walking with his wife and he has it in a shouting match with somebody that turns physical, that's going to be the best payday of somebody's life, no
Right.
matter what the situation calls. People are going to automatically say, "Well, that's Denzel. He should have respected his money more. He should have knew better." When Denzel is a man,
Mm. Yeah. So, is there any truth to when people say, well, you're a celebrity, so you open yourself for criticism, you open yourself to this.
Mhm.
So, don't be upset when people call you this, that, because you made the choice to be a celebrity. Is that truth in that? Or is it kind of some pushback? Like, yeah, I'm in the spotlight. However, I'm still a man, I'm still a woman, I still have a family. Like,
do they give a
where
do
does the
they give a,
border?
do they give a celebrity a different option? Do they have a box where celebrities can check? I just want the check. I don't want the fame that comes with it. I just want
No.
the job. Like they don't have another option. Like we, I wanted to pursue basketball at the highest form that it was played at, and so it became a job, and it gave me popularity and notoriety. But I'm not asking for that popularity and that notoriety to trump the fact that I'm a man first. I don't want
Mm.
prosecutors and attorneys and men to be able to aggress me and talk to me in a way that I can't talk to them. And right now in society, the worst thing in the world to me to be is a celebrity. Just think about all the rappers. They have to rap, they have to talk about certain things that make them a target, but they have to hang with 15, 20 guys that they
Their
now call a
entourage.
gang. Yeah, they call them a
Mhm,
gang or entourage,
mhm.
but these men are there to help protect these guys because they can't do anything. If a rapper does something, he's going to prison.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
I'm not a celebrity, no way.
Okay, you're not a celebrity,
I mean,
even though the whole world knows you.
I know that they're gonna try to make me a celebrity. That's why I keep reiterating it over and over again. I
Yeah,
keep trying to make people understand that there's no difference between me and any other person. I think
'cause
Shaq has come out and said he's not a celebrity, and I just think all that means is that please respect me as a man first, and
mhm,
not as something that's entertaining you still. A celebrity is just an entertainer.
right.
It's a person who found the niche or is good at something, maybe acting, sports, or whatever. That's their job to them. So to you guys, they use this word called celebrity, but I think it's disrespectful to the actual human being because they get treated less than a person. You get to walk up on me while I'm eating, while I'm on the phone, while I'm, trying to feed my daughter,
Mhm,
trying to walk my son. You think you have a right to do so. And then when I say no, it can turn into a nasty encounter, and then that encounter can get me sued. So a celebrity is nothing that any real celebrity, they don't
They
want to
don't
be a
want it.
celebrity.
Right.
No.
So taking it back to when you started in the NBA, were you ever prepared for what was going to come, talking about being quote unquote celebrity or the fame or the notoriety? Were
Mhm.
you ever prepared for that? And especially when, because you were young, you were just getting out of high school.
Mhm.
Was there any preparation? Was there any kind of sit down, hey, NBA lifestyle, let me tell you about this? Or was it all coming to you and you pretty much was taking it as it comes?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you got to learn on the job.
Mm,
Can't nobody teach you or tell you about what's to come, because any situation is unique. Every situation is unique. But I got a little taste of it early on in my about my junior, definitely my senior year, but my end of my junior year, I couldn't really go anywhere without people knowing who I was, without college scouts, coming up talking to me, following me different places, things of that nature. So the coaches and scouts knew who I was, but far as getting drafted where you have everybody knowing who you are and you can't go into a grocery store, that's a surreal moment. That's like I've been in a Rouse for an hour and a half, and all I went in there to get was a pack of turkey bacon and some milk, and it took
mhm,
me an hour and a half to get out of there because so many people, thought my time was their time. So definitely a celebrity, it's not good to be that.
yeah. Well, okay. So let me ask you this. Because when you retired and you was going to Chick-fil-A and singing songs with your daughter in the
Mhm,
car, having a good old time like a regular person.
mhm,
Now look at you now,
mhm.
back in the spotlight. All these reaction videos towards you. I can't get on the internet without someone talking and bringing your name up. So now you're thrust back in the light.
Mhm.
Are you, I guess, better prepared for it now since you've already had a taste for it for years? And is that something that you thought about when you were starting on Facebook and then got on YouTube that you would blow up like this?
If I knew I would blow up like this, I would have never said that.
You would have kept that on the low low. Shush, shush.
I'd have just cussed them jokers behind the scene and never said that. Because actually, I was enjoying my life, just being
Uh-huh.
a normal person. Everybody kind of forgot about Kwame Brown. If they were calling me a bust, they was doing it wherever they were at. I don't have those encounters in real life, and so
Mhm.
that's why I always say in real life, though, I was able to walk around up and erect like a man. I'm a PTA dad. I get text messages to my phone, so
Mhm.
it was a cool thing, just growing with your daughter. She's a preteen. She started like guys, so I was just enjoying that. But when once I blew up on the internet, it was just like, oh man. But
Here you go again.
yeah, I was way well prepared for it. My groupie days were over, so I was used to that. So everything that came with the territory, I was ready for.
I can talk about the groupie stuff because when I go to your live,
Oh Lord.
all I see is super chats of breast and ass. So
Those are beautiful young ladies.
I see tits, but we don't have to discuss that right now. Yeah, and matter of fact, your live today. When I was like, so no, you still doing that groupie stuff. So
Oh Lord.
let me let me ask you this. So because I have found a little bit where being on YouTube and being able to be yourself and be authentic and being comfortable with stating your feelings about things and topics,
Mhm,
sometimes it feels good to let it out.
mhm.
So has this process maybe been a little bit of therapeutic for you, especially going back from last year when you did the Mama's Cooking video
Mhm,
and the All in Smoke commentary?
mhm.
Has that been therapeutic for you just to be like, you know what? That
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely. Like, see, my brother this has a lot to do with my brother. My brother's Scrooge.
Hmm.
Uh, we have a lot of conversations. He knows my confidence. We talk all the time, and everybody who know me know who I am. And he just like, man, why don't you ever talk? Like you always get around people that you just stay quiet. Like you need to just tell your side and tell your story. And I remember we was having this conversation in Miami, and I just ended up going live, and we ended up talking about it. And then like a week later, the whole Jack and Matt Barnes thing happened, and then boom, it was all she wrote. It's almost like he saw it ahead of time or something.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I'm just appreciative that so many young men gravitate towards my story. Um, it just goes to show you what could have happened back in 2001 if these young men that had my similar story, similar background, growing up without a father, growing up with less income and things of that nature, if they saw a young man just like them that was supposed to be in college or only a couple years older than them, making millions of dollars and coming from the same background, I think it could have inspired them. So I think that has a lot to do with the reason what they did to me for us in the media.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question because you have your platform, you have a following, and I like to call them the Kwameisms.
Oh Lord.
The isms, meaning that if you're
Name
not
my next child that Kwame, what say it again?
the Kwameisms,
Oh no,
pin
I
that
can't name that. Kwameisms. Okay.
Kwameism. I just pinned that just right now.
Okay.
Um, and if they don't follow you or really are in tune to your lives, they might be confused because there's certain stuff that happens up. And at first I was like, now what the hell? But now that I'm addicted as well to your channel, I get it. So you have this thing as first one, your Kwameism is hashtag we the people.
Hmm.
What is that about?
It just it take us as a people to make change. We
Mm-hmm.
it's something that's normal in our community. We say it take a village to raise a kid, so that's already acknowledging that you need more than yourself. It's about the greater good. It's about everyone's well-being and not just yours. So if you want to get laws changed, if you want to get anything done, it takes the people. So it should be everybody. It should be in everybody's mind. We the people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we're going to talk about this a little later, but another Kwameism, of course, is your, Becky with the good hair. We're going to talk about it, but that's an ism. What's another ism that you have? Oh, it's a lot because I'm like, man, it just picks up and it carries on. But again, your subscribers, the people that rock with you, they say these things, and it's kind of like a little secret lingo that you have. But you have a big platform, and people do follow you,
Yeah.
and it's because of you.
Yeah, I mean, it goes further than YouTube is like making out. Like I see why so many people are mad at me now for the names that I labeled them. Like it really does carry on. Like an Arabic guy talk about where's that shit stained trucker, and I'm just like, oh man,
It carries on.
yeah, I got it. I looked at it, I'm like, there's no way that's what he would remember from a podcast, and I'm just like, man, this guy's in his 50s, 60s talking about a shit stained trucker.
Well, that goes to show how powerful your platform has become, and obviously still growing.
Mhm.
So you talk a lot, not only about I don't even like to call it beef. We say your detractors.
Mhm.
So you talk about them, bring them up on the show. I saw it yesterday, so that was actually a really good conversation.
Okay.
But
Oh,
you talk about
love.
yes,
Okay.
yes, that one. Which, you know what, as a content creator, I wish I could bring up the people that talk shit about me. And so, I'm living vicariously through you, just FYI. So
Mhm.
I was hashtag we the people on that day. So that's something else. I was like, just get this.
You got to bring the hookah out to stay calm because they come in to check your temperature and see if you can get
They
up.
right. But
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I thought it was a really, really good conversation.
Mhm.
But not only that, you talk about politics, you talk about social injustice, you talk about sports, you talk about an array of things. So your page is actually very diverse. But I do know that people like to put folks in a box.
Mhm.
And this is not a word but I definitely believe that you are unboxable.
Yeah, I like that word.
You like that?
Yeah, I'm
You gonna
unboxable.
run me my checks,
Yeah,
okay?
put
You
that on a
need
shirt.
my
I'm unboxable.
Kwameisms unboxable.
I
I'm
like
using my degree right now. But if I was just a newcomer to your page and I'm like, okay, what is this guy talking about?
Mhm.
Bus life. Describe, tell me how would you describe your page? What is Kwame Brown, the bus life?
Well, if you close your eyes, it'll be like a gentleman, a guy, uncle sitting at a backyard space table. He gonna be talking a lot of trash. He may be drinking a
Hmm.
beer, but he's going to be kicking out some knowledge, that old school soul, that food for the soul. That you don't have to listen to it. It's not, going to overtake the room like you got to do it. It's just some advice. It's just some things that I've been through, and some things you can resonate with, and some things you won't.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate also on your page, talking to, when you do talk about politics, not only do you do that um, on your page, but you also venture out.
Mhm.
You worked with people like Angela Stanton King, Judge Joe Brown, where you've been on panels. I'm going to bring this up. So tell me a little bit more about that. Do you see, or are we going to see Mr. Kwame Brown in politics?
Mhm. I don't know. A lot of people are trying to get me in politics, but I think yet again, that's another box that you'll be in. There's not a politician that can get on the internet and roast and joke like I do. So that'll be another layer, another thing that they'll box you in with. My thing is, instead of just being a politician, I'd rather be on the outside looking in and just let the people know that you actually have the power. Like, we really do have the power. Like, I really do believe that. I believe a lot of our entertainers are there to just bullshitting with you. To be honest with you, I hate to say it like that. They just bullshitting with you because looking back and knowing what I know now and seeing the type of income that I controlled every 2 weeks and the people that were in the room with me at the time, um, we can do whatever it is that we want to do with the right business plan. And we got to start getting people out of the mindset of who can help us instead of who can put together a business plan. With the type of income that the athletes make, the rappers make alone, all you need is business plans at this point. You take two, three rappers with a like mind, with the type of residual income that they have coming in, unless it's going to the labels, like I think. But the athletes have more of a guaranteed money situation that you can actually see. And you can allocate a certain amount of funds that go into an account every month. And we wouldn't have to kneel down. We wouldn't have to run in the street. We wouldn't have to beg and ask for anything. And I think there's power in that. And I think they want to keep us distracted, keep us buying the bling, keep us looking at rappers who are teaching us how to spend our money to look good instead of spend our money to have financial wealth and financial gain. That generational wealth. That's what I say. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm sorry.
I do that all the
We call it struggle streaming over here.
time.
But you mentioned rappers, and being that you was part of the Big Three back in 2017, 2018,
Mhm.
were you able to work with Ice Cube and seeing, a couple years back with the whole thing that he was trying to do and crossing the lines with President Donald Trump back then and Joe Biden, and he was trying
Mhm.
his best to try to, speak up as a rapper. Um, what do you think about that? Like he tried and being a big three with Ice Cube. What are your thoughts on him and what he tried to do?
I think Ice Cube is ahead of his time. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People are not going to understand who he is. Unfortunately, he's not going to get his flowers until he's no longer with us.
Mm.
I've been telling him, I told him that he's a great guy. I text him. I have his cell phone number. But the things that he was trying to do, he's an educated man. He rubs shoulders with these people, so he can't just come on YouTube and give you the playbook like I'm doing. He can't just come up here and say, "Yo, this is a game." But he came and he put together something with the help of our brightest educators and these lawyers and these smart people that's in the black community. He put together a plan and was going to have it signed. So
Hmm.
that was close to anything, monumental for us as a black community. That was the closest thing ever to getting something done that we that was the closest we've ever gotten.
The closest.
Yeah.
Why?
So
Why do you think it was pushback? I was so confused, and I remember watching the ladies on the Fox network, the four, and was pushing back. What you got for black women? And Ice Cube, I remember him saying, "What's his gender? It's for black folks. You are included in the black folks."
right.
And the pushback he got, I can't even say I was surprised,
Hmm.
because he was stepping outside the box, which a lot of us Negroes don't want to do, and be able to talk to people, even though you might not like Trump, but if he's a president or he can make a change, then that's who we talk with.
Hmm.
What, in your opinion, do you think the pushback was when he tried to have a plan? And Claude Anderson is the one that I think created the plan with him. So it's not that he just was making a plan like he was writing a hot 16.
Hmm.
Why do you think that was?
Because the right white folks didn't say it was okay to agree with it.
Mm,
We like to think we're free. We like to think that we push some narrative. The only narrative that we push is in entertainment. We set the goalposts in entertainment and sports, but anything else, we get told what to think. We get told who to like. And so, looking at that situation, I was able to. A lot of the things I'm saying on YouTube is around those type of situations. It's all about who we like. Ice Cube, we used to love Ice Cube. We used to love Donald Trump. But the
mm-hmm,
moment that anybody stands up against the mainstream narrative, which is created by the white liberal media, then us black folks, we attack it. So
mm-hmm,
we're not so far removed from white people as we think. You know, we have a sector of black folks that I like to call the go along, get along gang that will attack anything for white zaddy. Anything outside of that ideal of what's right and what's the standard of anything, they'll attack
yeah,
you.
that's
Just
that's
because.
another ism.
Go ahead.
The go along, get along gang.
Mhm.
That's another thing that you talk about a lot. Is
But
that
it's
a
very real though. Just think about it. How can Ice Cube be the guy that said NWA? You
mm-hmm,
go from trusting him and respecting him when he's saying niggas with attitude, F the police.
police?
You love him then, but when he has a different opinion, now you hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't even listen to his perspective. Now he's a coon. Like so, and it's like I said, it's the biggest threat to us because there's so many people making money off of our ignorance and off our demise that I don't think they want us to get the medicine. I think it's too much. I don't think they want us to get the cure. It's too much money in the medicine
Right.
pacifying us.
You can't. Yeah. There's no money in the cure. You have to keep you sick, and
Mhm.
this is the treatment, but you're still sick.
Right.
So yeah.
Because all you have to do is do what Larry Elder said, graduate high school, don't have a kids outside of wedlock, and get
Mm-hmm.
married. And that's three things that you can do to have a more successful life. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be more successful than the life that you're having now.
Yeah. I agree. I'm pro marriage. I'm pro nuclear family. I definitely think that a lot of our issues that we have in our Black community can be resolved with mommy and daddy.
Hmm.
So I agree. Come on, Larry Elder. Well, let me talk about you while we're talking about Black men. You recently was at Alabama A&M
Hmm.
speaking to young Black men there.
Hmm.
I saw this of you, which I think is amazing and dope, especially being that I went to Tennessee State University and HBCU. So, what were you doing there? What were you talking about? And is this something that you're going to maybe continue on doing with visiting schools, in particular HBCUs?
Yes, and I wanted to be as normal as possible. A lot of times, a lot of schools they want to bring a keynote speaker that makes them feel good. Oh well, he has a D behind his name. He's a doctor. He's a PhD. He's a this. He's a that. This woman is this, and it's like, is the goal to reach the children, or is the goal to just find somebody that has a degree or whatever else? Because a lot of these young men and women they want to hear a story that's similar to them. They can't resonate with some of these people that they don't know. They may know of these people and they're celebrities, but a lot of this stuff is not going to resonate with them. So I wanted to come there, look like them. That's why I wanted to wear the sweater. I didn't want to have a suit on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to come to them and just talk real and just give them some information that they can do without pointing the finger, without worrying about the white man. You can sign up for Granger. You can sign up for Uline. You can do some business to business stuff right now while you're in college. You can take some of that money that you get and those stipends and not spend it, not go buy belts, but go put it into an account and do some of the things that that I'm talking about with the LLCs, the business to business credit, and start building yourself so when you're out of college, you have some credit. Get into the credit game now because
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the most important things. These kids get credit cards and these different things, and they ruin their credit before they even get out of college.
Yeah. So you also are pushing for coding
Hmm.
for young Black men. So tell me a little bit about that and why, in particular, coding.
Because metaverse, everything the cars are being coded, metaverse and things like that are being coded. um, the cameras, the doorknob, everything is is
It's
is going
coded.
towards a coding situation. And then if you add in STEM, you pretty much got all the bases covered for a kid to have a successful life and to now pick a career path. And what's happening is we have little Johnny or little Bam Bam. Mom and daddy is trying to tell them what they want them to do in life. And then
Mm-hmm.
that kid grows up and they don't want to do any of that. So now this kid has gone to 2 years of college, not picking a major, spending some the money that they don't have. Now you got Sally Mae problems, and you have an adult now that just chooses to pick a major to get out of school, 30, 40, 60,000 in debt, with a job that's paying 80,000 a year. You never come up from under that.
Yeah. I think that's very important. And also, what I've seen of you is big up people that are the truckers, that have, vocational and not just in a suit and tie. You talk about the everyday person and how important they are. And I definitely think coding, I'm learning about this metaverse. Now, did you know that now you can buy land in the metaverse?
Yeah, I'm looking at some acres in metaverse right now. No,
I'm just learning this stuff, but it's important. And
yeah.
especially if you see Facebook changing the name, then you know it's something. And I'm like, you ain't gonna pull the wool over my head. Yeah. So there's a comment that I saw, because I'll be all up on your page. Kwame, the only player in history to hit his prime 20 years after getting drafted.
Hmm.
Is that true?
That's an ignorant statement because at 18, 19, what was my prime being the number one draft pick? What would you call that?
Mm.
Like what is higher than the number one draft pick? I did that as a teenager, so I don't really what
I,
what what does he call prime?
well, maybe you're hitting your stride.
Hmm.
Um, I now correct me if I'm wrong,
Hmm.
but I definitely think that you are hitting more people now than you ever did before.
Hmm.
And I think you have, because back then you were playing, now you have a voice.
Hmm.
And your voice carries more than what you carried on the court.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say I have these little dreams or premonitions, but I just think it's God's work. I think there were some people that were designed to stop what God intended 21 years ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
I just think they tried it and they failed. Um, the
Mm-hmm.
impact I could have had back then would have been great, but like you said, I think the impact that I'm having now and that I'm going to continue to have is going to be even more greater because I'm not looking to get in bed with people that's not out for the right reasons and that's not here to help these kids. Like you can't fake it with me. So I
Yeah.
think that's going to be the difference between me and a lot of other people.
Would you change anything about your journey?
No, because back then, I mean, I would say that the immature Kwame would say yes. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the Kwame, after I hit 30, 35, I said, man, I just saw things from a different perspective. Like everything that I went through or that I go through, I understand that it's a lesson. And so as long as I learn from it, I've never made a mistake. all it's doing is making me stronger for the next test. So everything I've gone through, I needed to go through that in order to be who I am today.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way when I think about when people talk about regrets. For me, I'm like, regret. I mean, if things didn't happen then, I wouldn't be the woman that I am now, and you wouldn't be the bus life
Right.
if it wasn't for those things.
Right. Like everybody want the end result. Like if you set out to learn how to fight, you're gonna get your ass whipped until you learn.
Mm-hmm.
You go to jujitsu, you go to boxing, the way that you're gonna learn is that you're gonna get your ass whipped. And so that you got to go through that. You got to be able to take your lumps and you got to be able to prepare and grind, learn how to take a punch, learn how to take whatever life throw at you, and then you're ready to go. But people try to skip steps. They try to pretty it up. There's a lot of people in life that never been hit yet. And so they look good now, but as soon as
Mm-hmm.
they hit, it's over with.
I hear you. All right, so I made a game.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, so my game.
I don't know what kind of game you making. You looking sneaky over there. I don't know what yeah.
As I twiddle my fingers.
Yeah, what game you talking about? I heard that voice change. I was like, oh,
Don't be scared. Do not be scared.
I ain't scared. I'm nervous.
Okay, well, you might be. So this is called First Take, Your Take.
Okay.
And I got a couple of pictures that I'm going to bring up.
Uh-oh.
Some might be your detractors. Let me see. Does it? We'll do this. And I want you to give me your first take or your first thoughts when I pop up the picture.
Yeah, we don't want first take to get mad at you. We're going to call it first thought.
First thought. Okay. Now, if you want to pass, I'll give you a pass on it. But I know that you are outspoken.
Uh-oh.
You can keep it cute.
Do I need to pour me a cup now? Hold on.
Well, let me. Okay, pour you a cup because I'll get to some super chats before we do that. How about that?
Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me pour me up a little something. I'm gonna make it worse for you today, man.
All right, and I'm gonna shout out the super chats while you pour up. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and shout out some super chats while he pouring it up. Thank you so much to Miss Pittsburgh. Confidence, I love it. And some of this stuff probably was back when we were talking. So, but I definitely want to mention you guys and thank you again. Huge Briggs, thank you so much for the super chat. Positive mental energy. # we are the people. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Here we go, Miss Pittsburgh. Happy birthday, Kwame. We got some. Oh, you ready? Bus Life fam here supporting We the People.
Don't mind me. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Don't mind me.
Shout out to my homegirl, K.A. Show. What up, Lapeef Network? Hey, Courtney. Hey, Kay. We have people that are supporting. Thank you so much for the super chats. We are bringing them up. This is the contribution from the Kwame Brown loyal supporter, Kevin. These are some of your people while you're over there drinking. Hey, April Harmony. Your name is familiar. I know you've been in the chats. I see you. Cannot chat yet, but I'm here. Kwame, Mama's cooking. Roy's my guy. Shout out at I am Courtney Michelle for the bust down invite. Thanks for being on the show. You're more than welcome. Your show is amazing. Royce Rant. My Uncle Stu from Brown Eyes to Uncle Stu here to support the chat and stream. Y'all, I appreciate it. I sub after seeing you on Kwame's platform. I did pop up from there. I stayed for the content. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Kwame, you ready?
Oh, boy, ready.
Oh.
Oh, boy, ready. Hold up.
What? That sounds like it went down a little war.
Yeah, hold up.
I told you don't be scared. You ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready now.
All right, so you got the premise of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, you kind of know who I got the name from. So the first picture should not be a surprise.
Ugh. That's the first thing that come to mind. Ugh.
That's the
This weak,
okay.
this weak weasel. Ugh.
Let me take the super chat off.
That's
Okay.
the first thing. Just
That's
looking
the
at
first
that.
thing. Okay. Let's
Ugh.
go to the next.
Damn. Yeah. And damn.
Damn. So no words, just some sounds.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let's go to the next.
I don't know, man. I don't know about these two guys. I don't really know them like that.
You spoke about them a little bit. I don't think they're any your detractors. You did have a show kind of about,
I don't know if they're like completely bad. I just think that they have a lane that they want to pick out certain type of women. I just would like to see them with a different type of women that on their show, like a CEO of a company, an attorney, a woman that don't need their money, and a woman that's going to give some pushback when they talk to them the way that some of them talk. So
yeah.
uh,
Okay. That's where I agree. I think the platform is just a lot of women on there that are Instagram models, OnlyFans. So, but a professional woman or a wife, some wives on there, that would be interesting. So,
yeah, I just don't see how their platform would. I just don't see how they not their platform, just the way that they talk, the way that they are. I just can't see them being like that in real life with a real woman who knows who she is because
right.
they're gonna look at that like, man, you're challenging a woman a little bit too much. Like it's almost like I don't know. It's just a little off. That energy is a little off to me.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next.
Becky with the good hair.
This is what I thought you was gonna come back.
I
So
just
this is Becky with the good hair.
The first thing I think about when I see that picture, I just want to sing this just for me. What's the rest of that just for me commercial? A style that's relaxing and fresh and free, or something like that.
It had a little. They was rapping. They had bars.
Yeah.
It was bars.
Every time I think about that, boy, that Duke, that just for me, is on point. Like he looked like he need to be on a Duke or a just for me box. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but this is when you talk about, and these are your Kwameisms. Becky with the good hair. This is who you're referring to.
Yeah, and the jacket ugly. That's what I think about too.
I'm not going to go there. Okay. The next one.
Oh, patch-eyed demon that fixes his face. Yeah. Patch-eyed demon that fixes his face.
Okay, that's your first thought. All right, got another one.
Bacon, just fat back, high cholesterol, just fructose corn syrup, just lots of sugar.
Why did I decide to do this? Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one.
When I see him, I just think about somebody who is not comfortable in their own skin, a guy who has an identity crisis. He wants to be a thug, a basketball player, an activist. He's multifaceted. He just can't stick to one thing.
Can't stick to one thing.
He's a rapper. He's still hood. He's a husband. I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
they say black people were not a monolith, right?
Well, CB4. That's what I think about.
CB4. Okay. The first thought. I got you. All right. I got another one.
Culture vulture.
Now you had some kind of back and forth, I know, on IG with him not too long ago. What was that about?
I gave my honest opinion. I said I feel like he talks to a certain type of black man, and he tried to make light of the fact he said I was still subscribed to him when I've unsubscribed to him first take, and I still keep getting all these notifications and things like that. So I unsubscribed again. So hopefully Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Well,
big
I
deal.
did see that you made that known. So, okay, the last picture of a person that I'm going to show is this one. And this is who you go back and forth with a lot.
Hmm. He's the prototypical black man. This is what they want every black man to be. A
Mm-hmm.
smiling, safe space, not connected to nothing guy who will do anything for money, say anything about anyone for money. Um, that's who he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, good job. Good job. You did good. Okay. But we're not done.
Hold on 1 second. I want you to go back and read this comment. You got a meat neck dude in your that gave you some money. He got like three chins and a glasses named
Well,
Hitchbot.
oh,
Uh,
gosh.
look at what he wrote in here. This is supposed to be a grown man. Can you
Was
go back?
this was it a super chat?
Yeah, he gave you $20 to say this. His meat neck.
Do you want me to bring it up? Do you
Yeah,
want to
put it up.
respond to it? Oh, Lord.
Mhm. Put it up.
Ask him why his. Okay. If you want to respond to that.
Yeah, read it out. I want to hear
Okay.
it.
Okay. Ask him why his own kids and the mother left him in fear of their lives. Ask him how he owe Bank of America money. Ask him how he tried to praise black women but goes off on his kid's mother. Ask him how he lost $17 million.
Now, my question would be, why would a man that doesn't gain anything out of any of these questions ask me any of this? He gave you $20 to see. These are the type of men in America. That's the problem. These are the type of black men. He gave you $20, and we appreciate that, salami neck. He gave you $20 to say something like that about a man he does not know. He's just
Yeah.
regurgitating and repeating things that he heard online. This is a guy who was a supporter, uh,
Mm.
who he just heard different things. And why would me, if I lost some money, why would that be
Well,
something
yeah.
that
What does that have to do with our conversation?
I
I've
have
lost
no
money
understanding?
before in beds and dice games. I
I don't
play
get it.
spade. Well, okay, so let me talk about this because it irks my life when people try to expose someone's personal business that it has nothing to do with anything.
Mhm.
And we live, especially in these YouTube streets where everybody wants to expose.
You
Why?
can't expose a guy like me because I live where I'm at. Like anything you say, I'm gonna own where I'm at. Even my baby mothers, they know that. Like I'm gonna own it. Like I'm not a celebrity, so
But why
anything
do we care?
they
Why do?
care because they want to be. We love being detractors towards each other. We
Mm-hmm.
love it. If you notice, this same mushmelly mushroom mushing top Michelin man body looking dude, he don't take the time to be fit throughout the day. There's a lot of things he could be worried about, like his
Oh Lord.
cholesterol, his BMI. There's a lot of things he could be worried about, but he's not worried about those things. He's worried about things that don't add to his life. And we have a lot of men like that that's wasting time like him. They're either gossiping about another male, they're either playing PlayStation, or they're doing something that's not going to add value to them. And this is a prime example of that. This is a grown man.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them. I see that a lot. Like I said, in these YouTube space, you just have a lot of men that would prefer to talk about people and personal business instead of talking about anything of substance.
Mhm.
So,
I like guys like that. They expose that Keisha, like Charleston White would say. They
mhm,
expose that thing that makes them feel inadequate in the inside.
yeah,
Anybody who would do something that insecure to donate $20 or $5 or $1 just so they can get recognition to do what they think is a diss, man, that's the weakest person in the room, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, to hell with him. So, I got something else. So I'm not done with my pictures, right? But this is not about the person or your first thought of the person. I want you to think about the time.
Mhm.
What was going on in your mind then and what goes in your mind now after the fact. And it's just a couple.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. You talked about going in. Hold on.
Is you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right. What was going through your mind then?
I can't wait to play them one-on-one.
Really?
Yeah, that actually happened. I told him that on the stage, and I actually played him one on one. I was serious. I
How'd
just
that game go?
I was actually winning the game, and then MJ turned into MJ as a rookie.
He did his thing.
Yeah, you don't get no calls, and every foul. He did what a big brother would do. If anybody had an older brother and a little brother started winning against an older brother or uncle, yeah, he did that. So that's what
Yeah.
happened.
So how does this seeing this now and those feelings then? How do you feel about this now?
I think I was the I think I was that was the appropriate feeling.
Mhm.
Anybody who's standing next to somebody so great, you should want to compete. You should want to measure yourself up to them. My first thought wasn't to talk to you and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and how you are as a guy. My first thought was, "Man, let's get it. Let's lace them up. Let's compete."
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this game. Like we could be friends right after, but while we on this court, let's get it in.
Yeah. I know a lot of people back then was talking about your hands and the size of your hands, but I would have been jonesing on your head. You have a peanut head.
Mhm. And
You
and,
do.
and a long, sharp nose.
Yeah, I would have had the jokes for days for you. I was like, hey, look at that old Eminem. I
They
would
do
have.
they do that as well. I mean,
Oh,
I'm used.
good. Okay, I just didn't want to make sure that they didn't miss that out, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, you got jokes. All right now.
That's a Southern thing, so you
Oh, hey,
know.
you gonna hit me with my laugh? Uh-oh. All right.
Okay. All right, I have another one. We'll do one. And again, what were you thinking then, if you can remember? Because you know you old. Um,
Uh-oh.
and how does it make you feel now? So let's go to the next one. Let's see.
Oh man, that bring back memories, man. Salute to Kobe Bryant's family. R.I.P. to Kobe, his daughter.
Hmm.
But I was thinking probably right there and a lot just meeting Kobe. It was like I was thinking in my head, damn, carbon copy. And what I mean by
Yeah.
that, he's the carbon copy of MJ. So at first, there was a little bit of growing pains because I wanted to get away from that style of mentoring. But then when I came out there, he was the exact same as Kobe, as MJ.
Hmm.
But I think I earned his respect. Kobe was the type of man. I don't think he liked anybody in the beginning. You had to prove to him if you loved the game, you had to prove to him that you loved the game through the work that you did. And he respect anybody if he saw you putting the time in. He wouldn't care if you miss every shot in the game as long as he saw you in there practicing that shot.
Hmm. Cool. Okay. So I have one last picture, but this is going to be different. I'm going to show a picture of a person,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me what you think this person's impact on the world is going to be.
Man, that's an ugly dude.
You got a peanut head, but what do you think this person's impact on the world is going to be?
Well, this old Chinese eyed bust,
Hmm.
all ass eyes, little old nose, and peanut ears. This little old bust here. What I would hope that the world get from this guy is that the perseverance and the mindset. A lot of people talk about they use the what you don't have. Oh, you're not educated. You're not this. You're not that. I'm walking, talking, and I believe what I'm saying. I believe that anybody who believes in what they're saying, it don't matter about the education. It don't matter what your shortcomings are. If you believe what you're saying and you work every day towards that goal, you'll achieve that goal. Or if you don't, whatever you fall short from that goal, you'll like what you see in the mirror. So I always want my dreams to scare me. Like growing up, I would always run up to my mama, always run up to my brother. And if they didn't say, boy, go on, get your crazy ass away from here, I knew I didn't say something that was gonna wow them. So I would always go back and think of something else. And
Hmm.
throughout life, I would always say things that I would manifest and they would come true. Um, I remember seeing a Rolls Royce and I said, man, bingo, I want that car. I'm gonna get one of those one day. And when I had the ability to get one, I bought one. Um, and just certain things like that in life. I want to be able to own a house with over 4 bathrooms, and I have just certain things that I said to myself, and I was able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because that's important in the hood when you got 7 brothers and 1 sister. That bathroom was always occupied, so I needed more than 1 bathroom. That was a dream of mine. I ain't gonna never have to wait to use the bathroom.
I mean, well, a dream of mine, I always wanted my own bathroom in my own room because I have 3 brothers and I'm the only girl. So imagine how.
Oh yeah, you crazy for real. You crazy for real. You had 3 brothers. You ain't learned how to wash your feet yet, so your feet probably stank too. Since you want to join on me, so you probably got stank feet. You got feet like a boy.
First,
Go, let's
well, okay, we can have a roast session, okay? Because you played how many years in basketball? Them toes probably looking like the Crypt Keeper.
They do. Ain't no problem.
I'm sure they do.
You want a picture of them?
No, absolutely not. Maybe for Halloween.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna win the best feet. I'm gonna win the best horror feet of the night. If you look at my feet. They on my Instagram too. Anybody want to see my toes? Go check them out.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my subscribers. Okay.
No, they won't throw all the way up. They'll just throw up in their mouth. That's all. Yeah, they're just a little something like that. Maybe twice.
Yeah, you keep them shitty toes to yourself. All right. So I have. So again, with me stalking your page, right? Okay. I saw this comment, and to me, I think this sums up your impact of what I asked about you.
Yeah,
and I'm going to read it
right now. Yeah,
Kwame.
She done admitted 2 times that she was stalking me. Yeah, her name's Courtney. Yeah, she online right now. Yeah, she read the comment off my page. Yeah, this about the 4th time she done it. Yeah, what you say? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. Oh, okay. All right, they ain't gonna do nothing about it. Come on with it.
I'm doing research. This is research. Okay, I'm a journalist. That's what I do. So let me read this for you. It says, Kwame, it's simple. You're the spark of something big. You started a very important conversation, and we see you as a leader. You may not want the title, but that's what it is.
No. I'm not your leader. They kill leaders, and I'm not a leader. I will lay on the ground and do push-ups. I'm not a leader. I will follow. In order to be a good leader, I will follow. I'll follow first. You be the leader.
Well, again, the person said you might not want it, but this is what you sparked. Your mom's cooking. This is what you sparked, and you sparked a lot. Like I said, even with me, it's just the idea of being just unapologetically me. And, this is what I think. These are my thoughts. I can admit when I'm wrong, but this is what it is. And I'm not hiding from anyone. I'm able to confront anything, especially when you talk about detractors. We can have the conversation. That's a leader. You always say that you stand alone.
Well, I just think they made it easy for that to happen because something happened. Some shift happened when we started pushing all this education. Most men wasn't into education. I mean, you look at a couple of generations removed. If you start talking about your grandfather and your great grandfather, they didn't have all these credentials and all this education, but they knew how to do everything. They were just wise. And now we push all this education, but does that increase the value of the person? So I just wanted people to understand that the box that they try to put you in, the conversations that we try not to have, all the smart people do is create a word so that they don't have to have the conversation. If I ask you a question, you could just say, I'm a woman, you hurt my feelings, and you can get out of it in that way instead of just being able to answer the question. I can acknowledge and see that you're a woman, with a big forehead. I can see that. And you can answer my question. You don't have to, focus on the fact that the forehead big. You can just answer my question. That's why you picking on my peanut head.
Because you do have a peanut head, but that's all right.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. We just got to start. We gotta have the conversations when it's something that we hear that we don't like or we don't necessarily want to talk about. We still got to be man enough, woman enough to have the conversation. That's all I'm saying. And what we did in society is we tried to feelings our way out of having the tough conversations. It hurts my feelings, so you shouldn't say that. So many people say that all the time. You shouldn't say that, but if
Mm-hmm.
I have the freedom of speech, why can't I say it? You know, we should
Yeah,
be able to say whatever we want and discuss it in a way where we're still being respectful towards one another.
I agree. So I'm going to be respectful of your time. Um, I I thought about taking calls, but I don't want to because I don't want anything to get in the way of what the purpose of this conversation was. And it's just a conversation with one cool person, one that
Yeah,
maybe
just
needs a
one,
life
just one
coach,
person. Yeah, just one cool person. I see
just
how you try to
one,
get that in
right?
there. I see how
I
you
had to
try to
put
sneak
that
that
in
in
there. But you have a special day coming up tomorrow.
there. Oh, it's already here.
It's already here. No, it's not.
Let me see.
Maybe somewhere in the world.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like it's right now. It's all month. I'm bad and bougie this month.
It's your birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, handsome fella is right there. Look like he about to go.
Hey, to Mr. Bus Life. First, I want to wish you a happy, happy birthday.
Thank you, thank
You
you,
are
thank you.
officially a senior citizen. I think you
Oh,
are turning 56. And I am so excited for you. You finally get your AARP card. This is some good stuff. You get your senior citizen discount.
no, if I was turning 50, I'd be in here doing the Tootsie Roll. I'm
God.
not turning 50 because I'm telling you, when I turn 50, if I still know you when I turn 50, I'm making sure I send you a video or I'm gonna do the Tootsie Roll on live. Because when I turn 50, it's something to dance about.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I'll be there and I'll moonwalk with you. I got
Uh-oh,
you.
uh-oh, uh-oh.
So, Mr. Kwame Brown, do you have any last words for me, or to your people? Because you shown up, you bring the crew.
Yeah, well, I just want to say the jokes kind of hurt my feelings. And
Oh
yeah,
Lord,
yeah, finally the bus, he found my soft spot. A woman picked on me and I can't take it.
I did.
I can't take it no more. No, I appreciate the interview. I appreciate the good energy. I knew when you came onto my show, you know, I think you was down there when Miss Shay Means came on.
With the Tommy Sotomayor. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
and
there.
although a lot of people have their issues with that young lady or whatever, I like the fact that your feedback was of a different style and different type of woman, and I
Hmm.
think I told you that. Like I respect that in you. You represent um, what I would want my daughter or a young lady that or an auntie or a cousin to represent. Somebody who stand firm and know who they are, not a pushover, but I'm still going to behave like a woman in whatever situation that I'm in. And a lot of women don't understand that, and a lot of men don't understand that either. You know,
Yeah.
so I
Well,
appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
And again, I want to thank you before I close out, because you did not have to do this. I am a small guppy in this big ocean of YouTube, and you are the big whale. So, for you to even take the time out on your birthday eve to join me to have this conversation means the absolute world to me.
Don't
So,
try to make me believe the hype. That's the devil trying to push me out in front to get behind me. I just feel like I'm a little old bust. So
but
if
but you
anybody
but you
message that I resonate with, I don't care how small you are, how big you are, I'm gonna pump your message.
well, I appreciate you.
Hmm.
So thank you. So I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna push you. You stay down there for a second.
Okay, stay
Okay.
down there.
I'm st- oh. Oh, okay. Let's retract. I'm gonna bring it down. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, so that was extra. So you guys, I am thrilled. I knew this conversation was going to be interesting, fun, um educational, everything that I thought that it was going to be. It was much more. I can't thank you guys enough for joining me in my one-on-one conversation with Kwame Brown. This man is definitely a force to be reckoned with, whether it was on the court, whether it was in these YouTube streets. He's here. He's been here, and I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. So thank you so much for the support. If you liked what you saw, hit the like, share it to a friend, tell cousin, auntie, and uncle and them to check out the video. Subscribe if you're new. It's a pretty cool, dope space. And I thank you guys for joining. So until next time, my family, thank you.